I think that I have to have my phone a certain way. So now it says, what does this button do? Okay, so I'm gonna bring a friend on. Okay, and then press that button. It says, okay, invite. I'm gonna try to do this again. This is Rocky Road, you guys. Rocky Road. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm sure that it'll be fine once we figure this out, but this is my second time doing this, and I think that it's going to turn out great once we get on here. Once we get on here, it'll work. It'll work. Okay. Okay. Ooh, yay. Okay. It's going to work this time, Phil. It's going to work this time. I hear something. Yay! We did it. How are you today?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. That was rough. That was rough. I was trying to figure it out, and I had the Facebook Live on my computer, but then I was like, okay, so I'm gonna do it on the computer. That way he knows that I'm like here, and then I'll attempt it on my phone.
It's
So
really
yeah,
funny. The first one that I did all my homework on it. I tested it with Michael. Hi, Marianthi. Hi, Michael. What happened was I tested it, and the first one went really, really well. And then I went to do the second one, and Cheryl's going one way, and I'm going the other way, and I just posted it. So good for you that you got the second one up like this.
yeah. Like okay, so I figured out that like when you do these, there's a button that says add the person to the broadcast, and then there's another button that shows like it looks like a picture of two people. You click that,
Yes.
and then what I noticed is that green box comes on, and it allows you to add this. It says bring the person on camera. So the next time
Yeah.
that you do it, just remember that,
Yes.
and it'll work. I'm so
And
excited to have you on because I'm like you're like a star. You're like, oh, like I just love how much you're taking action and doing things and getting things together and just like being an action taker. And I just had to congratulate you first of all for like writing a book for I mean like it took you less than 30 days to do it. I'm just so proud of you. I really
yes,
am.
thank you.
So I'm
It
actually just
actually,
curious, how's that going?
so actually it took 24 days. And what I can tell you is my editor's actually watching. So I want to make sure and
Really?
do a shout out to her. Marianthi is absolutely amazing. She came
Hi.
in and working with a first time author. She was patient, she was professional, and most often she was very loving. So that's part of how it got done in 24 days.
Cool. That's
Yes.
awesome. That's awesome.
Thank you.
I can't tell
Thank
who
you.
I'm almost afraid to scroll. I don't even
Yeah, I
maybe.
just saw her come on. That's how I know she's here. Otherwise, I'm blind to whoever else other than what I saw earlier, right? So yeah,
So I
it's
just
that
had to
set
I
out.
just had to like really root for you because you're amazing. Like
Well, thank you. Thank
on
you.
so many levels, and we've seen you on a bunch of different platforms. I met you. I think I first saw you on Lisa Nichols' platform,
I
and
think
it was
so.
speaking right. It was speaking right,
Yes.
and you just like captivated everybody because you were just such an action taker, and I think that that's continued even up till now. But I wanted to ask because I know that you did the design for your book. You did all of the work basically, and I'm wondering like how did that Canva for branding course help you, and then also like any conversations that we've had just to kind of clear up your audience and really what direction you're going and what you're doing in your business and on your journey so far. Can you kind of
Well,
like elaborate on that?
of course. So first, let me talk about the book cover. It was oh, and I have it right here. So I'm going to just hold it up real quick because it's backwards, but everybody gets the idea, right? So the book cover, the front cover was done in Canva, and it was done as a result of going through your program and learning Canva. So what I like to do is I like to layer my learnings. And so when I put things in front of me that I think I can't do, um, I know that at the end I'm going to feel even better, right? So I go into it with fear, trepidation, concern, and still I do it. And so what happened was Canva looked really big for me. It looked really challenging for me. And so what happened was I went through your program. I came to understand it. I played with it. Michael, my husband, and I actually worked together on putting together the different options that we put on Facebook. People voted for which cover they wanted. And what was neat about it was I did not get freaked out when people wanted this or wanted that, because I was like, oh my God, I got to go back to Canva and figure out what to do with it. And it gave me more opportunity to get into Canva and play with Canva and really actually get I'll just say good at it, right? So I'm just good at it at this point. And it was the result of being willing to take your program. It's like, okay, Canva and anything else that looks like a software that has to do with graphics totally intimidated me. I couldn't imagine that I would be able to do it. So that was my first step in overcoming self-limiting beliefs around what I can learn and what I can do. And then the book, that was real interesting because I wanted to be able to write the book in 30 days. Now, I didn't know what I didn't know when I said that. When I put that out there, I didn't know what I didn't know. So the Canva part went really, really well. The writing, it went really, really well. It was the editing that was really the challenge. And I'm so amazed that I was working with Marianthi on it, because it really made a huge difference. And one more thing about Canva. So what happened is my mom and I are going to actually write a book together about our travels over the last 5 years.
Nice.
And I'm going to give a little sneak about it. So her bucket list is called a pale list. And so I've already designed 2 covers for our book together. It's Making Outstanding Memories, Mom. And then it's got pails, because I've been able to build 2 different covers in Canva. And I'm going to share them with her this weekend when I see her.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. Oh my gosh,
Right?
I can't wait to see it.
So I'm just really excited to go to my mom's and say, Mom, here's the outline for our book. And oh, by the way, here's two options for our covers.
Right.
Pretty
Oh
cool,
my gosh,
right?
that's so exciting. I would love to write a book with my mom. That is
Yes.
so exciting.
We have stories from 5 years of traveling together. We took 5 cruises, 5 cruises, 6 cruises, 5 or 6
Wow.
cruises. And so what we're going to do is because they were on her pale list, and what we're going to do is we're going to call the book Making Outstanding Memories, Mom.
Wow. That sounds like
So,
amazing. So how's that going for you? Because I know that you mentioned an outline, and actually creating a course because I noticed that a lot of people that are writing books, they really they struggle to get started, and so I decided that I was going to create like a writer's jumpstart
mhm,
to kind of help with writing the synopsis of the back of the book, the forward, the acknowledge, all that stuff, like all the jumpstart stuff, and just
right.
what you just mentioned, that makes a lot of sense. A lot of people are struggling with that, and I think it's really
Yes.
amazing that you're making progress in the area because it's not easy. It's not easy.
No, and what I'll tell you is it's interesting because I am fiercely independent, and when I learn at my own pace, and sometimes that's faster than other people. And so, what was interesting for me around this was that I'm surrounded by books in my office and then also in another room in our house. And whenever I got ready to do something, I would go pull a book out and I would look at the book and I would say, okay, here's one book that does it this way. Here's a book that does it this way.
Oh my God,
And
you're
it was
so
really
amazing.
all about finding the best practices, right? I wanted to find the best practices.
Well, that's really that is so funny that you brought that up because I was literally at Barnes and Noble yesterday and I was looking at books and I was telling people, look at the back of the book. So yesterday I got a book. I don't know if you know what this book is, The 4 Hour Work Week. I went and got this book. This is my
Oh
next
yeah.
big read, this one here. And I was looking at the inside of the book and I was telling people, hey, if you are looking to find out what other people are doing or what a book is supposed to look like, go to Barnes and Noble. Those are free. Go open the book,
Yes.
see what they're putting on the cover, what the cover looks like, and all those things. And I just feel like you're so resourceful. Like I, you're
Well,
so resourceful. It's
thank
amazing.
Thank you. I will tell you that, I love the guidance that you gave me. I love the support, the encouragement that you gave me, the direction that you gave me, you continue to give me. And what I know is, and my mom can attest to this as well, I am fiercely independent when it comes to these things. Now, it's not to say that I haven't been successful in my career working with teams. What happens for me is when it comes to my own learning, I know my style. I know where and how I learn best. And so for me, it just made sense. And the other thing I might throw in there is that I'm not at a point where I have money to outlay for experts such as yourself to support me in this. So I needed to be able to figure out how to do this for under $50. And that's exactly what I
Right.
did. So I don't recommend this for everyone. I absolutely don't. It worked for me. And as I said to Michael yesterday while we were talking, I said, do you know why I wrote the book? And he said, well, not really. And I said, because I had to prove to myself that I could actually do something that I'd never done before. Canva, write a book, etc.
Right, right. And I think a lot of people just don't even think like that. A lot of people just won't take on something that requires a learning curve. And my question to you is, do you feel that, by investing in yourself, and even because it wasn't, I didn't charge an arm and a leg for that either, and it was something that, that I feel like some people do.
Mm-hmm.
And do you feel that by investing in yourself that you made a great decision?
Yes, most definitely. 100%. Don't even have to think twice about it. And what I will tell you is, and I want others to know this as well, is that since coming on as an entrepreneur, we'll call it March because my website launched in March. And so March is really when I started paying attention to all of this entrepreneurial talk and so on and so forth. You're somebody who I watched from the very beginning. And so while I had sort of this group, if you will, of people that I was watching, it really continued to narrow down to where I have a cadre. So there's really just a cadre of people that I watch on a
Mm-hmm.
regular basis. And watching you over and over again, I knew that when the time came that there was an alignment around the program that you were offering and the value, the value investment that I could make in it, that I was going to be the first one to say yes. And that's exactly how it happened.
Awesome, awesome.
Yes.
If you could give people a bit of advice, because I know that a lot of people are really reluctant to invest in themselves, and they're, they might be jaded, they might have had some experiences where they've invested in something and it didn't pan out the way they thought. Do you think that by investing in themselves, I mean, obviously you do the work, and that's the differentiator. If you do
Mhm.
the work, you're going to get results. um
Right.
what could you say to somebody who is sitting on the fence about investing in themselves, um as far as doing the work and making the investment?
So what I'll tell you is that this was actually born in my corporate career. So my corporate career spanned
Mm.
35 years, starting in 1982. And one of the things that I was very fortunate to have available when I worked for the first company for 18 years was basically unlimited resources for learning. So I was able to go to all
Hmm.
kinds of internal programs. I was able to go to external programs, and those just kept rising. They kept just getting higher and higher. And so for me, very early on, I made the investment in me through the funds of the company. In fact, the company paid for my undergraduate degree. I mean, it was
Wow.
pretty, yeah. So it was something that I looked at and I thought, wait a minute, this is something that I can do. The company's going to pay 90% of my tuition and I can invest the time to do it, even though I'm commuting between Texas and California on a weekly basis. So I early on realized that the investment in me and everything that I learned would continue to build me in who I am and how I lead and how I work and quite frankly how I show up as a person. I've been spending a lot of time this morning reflecting on global citizen, global leader. That's a big theme in my life because I'm willing to continue to open up and invest in myself, here, there, or anywhere in the world.
Well, okay, so you mentioned something that is key. Okay. A lot of people who do these DIY programs and things like that, a lot of them don't complete them. And one of the things that's really important is completing things and sticking to it until it works. And
Yes.
what you just mentioned is two things. You finished the course, first of all, and
Yes.
also you are a lifelong learner. You
Yes.
just basically told me that you're a lifelong learner. You feel that education is important to you, information is important to you, but not just
Yes.
that it's important to you, but that you actually execute on it. And so the difference that I see with you and other people is that some people will buy things and then they don't complete them. And then
Hmm.
you actually completed the course, you applied it to what you were doing, and you were ready for the next thing. And I see a lot of people who get in disarray because they start something and then they don't wait for it to work. Kind of like a diet where they start the
Yes.
diet and then the diet doesn't work and they're like, this doesn't work when they didn't like actually apply it or use it. And I just commend you for your execution and being able to um, complete things.
Thank
You're a
you.
completer, and
Well,
that is
thank you.
going to set you apart.
I'm
That
looking
right
here
there is
because
going to set you
I,
apart.
I'm, I'm sorry. I'm looking here. I wanted to see when I did the Canva. I did the Canva in July. So to give people the
Uh-huh.
time frame, in July, I completed the Canva. So the last notes that I have in here are July 31st. The
Mm-hmm.
public announcement of writing the book was on August 9th. So it was literally 10 days after
Wow.
I finished your program,
Oh my gosh. You're a
right?
beast. You're a beast. Like you just went after it. You just went after it. And that's the thing. Most people they don't go after it. And so it's really key that if you are stuck with your branding, if you are stuck with the idea that you'd like to write a book, I mean, Phil is proof that you can do it in a way that is quick, in a way that is executed properly. Like he now I want you to also think about this. Phil hired someone to do the editing.
Uh,
Okay. And
actually,
I was
actually,
trying.
let me tell you, this is where things line up. So I woke up early in the morning, like I do, and in my quiet time, because I can be quiet, all this stuff started coming in my head about this book. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. So I put it on my phone real quick. I came into my office after breakfast and I wrote out the outline. Then what happened was I put out on Facebook that I was going to write this book and I was giving myself 30 days. Again, I didn't know what I didn't know. Then all of a sudden, I'm writing it, Michael's editing it. It's like the blind leading the blind, literally. And so what happens is Marianthi, who's in Greece, picks up on my post and says, this is a guy who's got a dream. I want to support him in his dream. And she reached out to me and said, I will gift you the editing
Oh,
and the proofreading, right? And I'm
that's
like,
amazing.
and I had just set the intention that I wanted to receive more. And this was a huge opportunity for me to then say, I accept your gift. Thank you. And it made all,
Right.
I mean, I'm a better writer for the next book as a result of the editing that she showed me on the first book.
Absolutely. And that's the
Right?
thing is at least you like jumped in there and did it. But you mentioned a key thing. Okay, you set the intention that you are
Yes.
going to be successful. You set the intention of what you would like to bring into your life, and that's something that's really key for those of you that
Yes.
are watching right now live and on the replay. I want you to pay attention to what Phil just said. He set the intention, he took action on that intention, and he attracted someone who could edit his book. He was able to get into the branding course. He was able to design his own book cover. He was able to finish the book in less than 30 days with all of these things that came in. Like, come on now. Come on now. Like, if he can do it, I know that a lot of you are thinking about this and you need some guidance. Um, and that's one of the reasons why I created the mentorship program, because listen, it's not that hard. He can do it. You can do it. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you. You were like
Thank you.
so awesome. And I just want to commend you on what you're achieving, and I know that big things are coming for you. So
Thank you.
Phil, how can people participate with what you're doing? Because I know that you have some programs that you're building out. You have some leadership programs. I believe there's a leadership program that you told me about. And how can people get in touch with you? Like what social media
So the east,
platforms are you on?
Yep. So the easiest way to get a hold of me directly is phil@seedandlead.com. And that's SEEDANDLEAD, right? Phil@seedandlead.com. The website is www.seedandlead.com. I'm on my personal Facebook, Phil Bolander. I'm on my Facebook Seed and Lead page. I'm on LinkedIn, and I'm on Twitter. And I say I'm on Twitter. Yesterday, I don't even know the language on Twitter because I'm not a Twitter expert. I put my book on some critical people's Twitter, I guess is what you call it.
Oh
And one of the guys, this is crazy. One of the guys wrote me back because like I'm crazy. I don't know what not to do, right? So I'm putting it on, people like Ellen, Robin Roberts, all these people. I'm putting
wow.
my book on theirs. And one of the guys who's a very prominent, he's known for traveling and travel blogs and books and shows and podcasts and all that. And he wrote me back. And I didn't know what
Oh.
happened. so, so my point in that is I am on Twitter, but if you do anything with me on Twitter, I don't know what I'm doing in replying back to you. So I think I've mentioned all the social medias. The direct way to get a hold of me is Phil at Seed and Lead.
You're also on LinkedIn too. I'm
I
connected to
am
you
on
on
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.
Yes, exactly. And I'm very active on Facebook and LinkedIn both. I enjoy the interactions there. As I say, Twitter, there's a learning curve, so maybe I need to apply the Canva learnings to the Twitter learnings. Because Twitter
That's
just
pretty bold what you did on Twitter. That's I actually happened to me. I was working with a client, and I just so happened to use one of his quotes,
uh-huh.
and he went and he clicked like on it, and I kid you not, like a few hours later there was like 7,000 people, 7,000 views, and I'm like, is that right? Like, how is that
Yeah.
possible? And I was freaked out because I thought something was going on, but then I was just like, wow. So that's actually really smart. And I would continue to do that because that's just basically like free marketing. If they reply and if they say something to you, and why not? I mean,
Yes.
and it's a great way to do it.
So two things for me. One, I already have. Somebody told me this before, and I live by it. I already have the no. I'm going for the yes. So why wouldn't I put it on all these people's Twitters, whatever they're called, right? Why wouldn't I put it on it? Because I already have the no, and why wouldn't I go for the yes? I mean, how do I know that Ellen's not going to pick up the Twitter and look at it and go, "Hey, this is a guy we want to talk about"? I don't know that. So that's one thing. And then the other thing is, I will tell you, when I said to you the things I didn't know going into this, and, thankfully things lined up, you just pointed out what I didn't know and what I still don't know is the marketing. I don't know the marketing. I just keep, shouting out, I've got a book. I've got a book.
No, but see, I already told you that I was coming up with a program for that, specifically to create a business marketing plan around when you publish your book. And I honestly, like, that's one thing that I would say, that when you're writing a book, you should be planning out your marketing plan so that when the book is published,
Yes.
it's already got momentum. Now, at this point, you can
Yep.
still definitely market your book. It's on,
Yes.
I believe it's on Amazon, right?
It is on Amazon.
So it's
Yes.
on Amazon, but like the course that I'm creating at this point is going to show you how to create a content marketing plan, and then also to get a funnel going, because that's going to be important. Okay, if you don't have an email list, if you're not building an email list, if you're not, if you don't have your content together, and for those of you that follow me, you know that I'm a content machine. Okay, I produce a lot of content, and that's on purpose. It's very intentional. So you have to be really intentional about your content and how you do your marketing plan on social media. And so that's one of the things that's coming up. So the two that's coming up is the Writer's Jumpstart to get you started on the book, but then also the marketing course specifically to get you to have that plan in place, so that when you're done and you have your book all ready and it's in your hand, like you physically have it, then all you have to do is invite people to your programs, invite them to buy the book. There's a funnel in place. So
Mm-hmm.
that's coming. And I'm pretty sure, Phil, you're probably gonna be you're probably gonna be one of the first people in there, because I know you and you're an action taker, and I would just love to have you, because I know that you're an action taker and
Thank
you're
you.
gonna make the best use of the information that's in there.
Thank you.
So I just really appreciate you, and I'm like
Mm.
so honored to be able to work with someone like you, especially with your background and your tenure. Like, that's pretty cool. Like, that is so cool. And I know that you're going to be successful just based off of the short amount of time that you've been in business and how much you've gotten done. Like I know entrepreneurs that have been in business for years and they don't have a book. And every last person who is in a specific niche, you should have a book. Okay. If you don't have one, you're not ahead of the game. And also, I know that you're going to be successful because you just, boy, like you just get along with everyone. Like I see you on everybody's platform. You're everywhere. And you don't even know it yet, but you're omnipresent. You're
No, I
omnipresent and
don't
you
know it.
don't even you're like everywhere. I see you everywhere. And the thing is most people don't understand that you can be a big fish in a small pond. And it does not matter how small your business is. Phil is everywhere. He was on the Lisa Nichols screen and like remember when Susie met you? You remember what Susie said to you? She was like
Yes.
she was like, "Hey, I'm finally meeting you." And it was weird because Susie is supposedly like famous. Like when everybody knew who you were. Lisa Nichols knew who you were because you're like an action taker and you're everywhere. So I would
Thank you.
encourage you to continue doing exactly what you're doing. Stick around with people that are action takers as well, and also stick around with people that have really good information that you can execute on. You know
Yes.
that you know that someone is worth a bag of beans if you take their class and you get into their programs and you're getting results. So
Yes.
stay on that path, follow your gut
Thank
and your
you.
intuition. You've been doing that this whole time. And
Thank you.
I really truly appreciate you and how you show up. Thank you for showing up. I know
Well,
there's people
thank you.
following you.
Thank you. I'm really humbled by everything that you said. So as soon as we go offline, I will go have a cry out because
Oh,
I really really appreciate you giving me the feedback and the accolades that you have. I really appreciate them a lot. Thank you.
you absolutely deserve it. And I'm so proud of you. And keep going.
Thank you. Thank you
Keep
very
going.
much. Thank you. My
Well,
love to
thank
you
you
and thank you.
guys. Thank you guys for watching. I know that there's a lot of people watching, and I'm sorry I haven't really said anything. Um, but we've been so engrossed in the conversation that I haven't really said anything. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you so much for being here. If you have any questions for Phil, make sure that you go over to his page at Seed and Lead. Okay. You can go ahead and post a link, Phil, in the description or in the comments
Okay.
so that people
Okay.
can reach out to you. And
Perfect.
for
Thank
those
you.
of you that are interested in the courses that we were talking about, I'll post a link in the description for that as well. Thank you so
Yay.
much. And you guys all have a great day. Have a great day, Phil.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.
Bye.